brand new. So we'll dive into those newer productions once we get closer. We're closing those gates on your left, folks. Like I said, my name's Edward. I'll be the one talking and yapping up here in car one. To jump out of the tram at any time, so please don't. We're also noticing the red emergency cord that goes down the center of each and every car in case of a medical emergency, bathroom emergency, something falls off the side, major audio visual issues.
So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Well, March 15, 1915, our game founder Carl Lemley brought Universal City to the map. In the early days, it was 200 acres, just a movie studio. In the early days, we had a walking tour during the silent films. For 25 cents got you on the property. You could walk from set to set and marvel at all of that new technology. Of course, sound eventually became a part of filming. The doors closed off to the public. It wasn't until the 1960s an idea of reviving the studio tour came about when the Gray Line bus tours out of Hollywood made a stop at our studio gates. To note, on your right, not a movie set, that's a real working fire station. We have our own sheriff's department and our very own zip code nowadays. Our current version of Universal City has 400 acres with theme park, City Walk, and our studio all combined. Jurassic Park. A lot of this movie filmed right here, and many of our stages also filmed on location in the state of Hawaii. But think about some of those jungle scenes. Remember where Tim, the young boy, stuck in the Ford Explorer as it falls down the tree with Sam Neill, or the other jungle scene where his sister stages at once, one of our largest productions, and one of those stages was a makeup studio to bring those citizens of Whoville to life. Stars Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. Our studio was also home to this show not too long ago called Superstore, starring America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Mark McKinney. That was built inside of the soundstage, the inside of Cloud 9. I bring this show up, the writers and some of the great film here with Keke Palmer and Jimmy Fallon. Here's another game show example, Hollywood Game Night with O.J. Lynch.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or Dave?
Our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, TED is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch. Oh, come on!
Also, but folks, we're going to be very close to two different TV shows. I'm going to go to a quiet zone just in case on your monitors. So we got season 3 sitcom, Lopez versus just next door, Soundstage 26, home to the hospital workplace comedy called St. Denis Medical. Will be airing Tuesday. Okay, folks, you're going to see the hospital exterior for the same show they're filming inside, St. Denis Medical. There is a hospital interior currently inside of Stage 26, got picked up for a full first season. You're also noticing our Brownstone Street on your right. I showed you an example on your monitors, Bruce Almighty, Jim Carrey. Also brought to life in the TV show The Mindy Project. That's where the main character Mindy Lahiri lived for that show, The Mindy Project. Welcome now to another well-known location. We call this Courthouse Square, but a lot of our guests still recognize it as Hill Valley from Back to the Future.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square. These sets were used to create Hill Valley in the Back to the Future films.
And they represented multiple time periods, 1985, 1955, in the far, far distant future, 2015. To this day, this is one of the most popular sets on the Universal Studio Tour.
We had a lot of fun making those films here on the lot. I wonder what it'd be like to go back to those days. If only we had a time machine.
Everybody, do you think we can get this tram up to 88 miles per hour? See you in the future.
In case you're wondering, the answer was no. This tram can only go about 8 to 10 miles per hour, but yeah, we're in the future, our electric tram. Keep in mind, folks, we just put a new sign up for John Hancock High School, Bethesda High School, for the 10th TV series, so who knows, maybe they got picked up for another season. This was also downtown Baltimore for Hairspray Live, that big 2016 musical event with Ariana Grande, Derek Huff, and Martin Short. And if this is your first visit to any type of movie studio, take it all in. We don't always get to see this location we call New York Street. That movie theater marquee on your left, and the rest of New York Street featured a lot of music videos. I always recommend rewatching Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams music video. Recently, a couple years ago, we had Jungkook, K-pop fans. Jungkook from BTS, his music video for 7. The big rainstorm scene took place right here on this location. Or if you're fans of Pink from the East Coast, rewatch Pink's Walk Me Home music video. Really cool nighttime filming within this location. Now, if you're noticing all these windows, it's giving camera the illusion that they're just as tall as any metro city. Now, keep in mind, your favorite show or movie might do the same little Hollywood trick. They'll show you an image or footage of a skyline. Philadelphia, Chicago, San Francisco, maybe the city that you're from. The next beat in the film, you might just be on a Hollywood backlot just like this. Now, we've also had other unique shows like American Ninja Warrior literally build their obstacle course down our New York street several summers in a row. But other cameos is filmed inside of a soundstage. They only brought the first car of the tram inside for the third revival season of Will and Grace.
Me included. One time I took a drink that said Lisa on it from my coffee place. I know my name's
That's
not
so cool.
Lisa.
You are a bad girl. Stop the tram!
With sunglasses. To your left, the new home for The Voice on IOTA.com. They work on a lot of the audience participation shows. And currently, Soundstage 33 is hosting a brand new sitcom starring Reba McEntire. So Reba is currently a coach on The Voice. She's also working on a brand new sitcom called Happy's Place, also with a live studio audience. Check out oneiota.com. And then, if you haven't heard the good news for season 26, Michael Bublé and Snoop Dogg are both joining for their first time as coaches, being joined by Gwen Stefani and Reba McEntire. Now, you've also been noticing this beautiful man-made body of water. We're backlot home to other classics like Dracula starring Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein starring Boris Karloff. Of course, over in Orlando, 2025, they're building a little epic universe based off some of those classic monsters with a nice little modern twist. Welcome now to our more modern version of our movie set location we call Little Europe. A lot of our guests still recognize this location from what I call the Big Three. Either rewatch Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, Whitney Houston, Brandy, Whoopi Goldberg, a lot of the big dance numbers took place here. This was also Genovia from Princess Diaries 2, a royal engagement with Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews. Rewatch the parade scene, specifically horse carriage, the whole 9 yards. This was Genovia. And for 4 years, this location turned into the afterlife for a very unique show called The Good Place, starring Ted Danson, Kristen Bell, and look a little something like this.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife. Come on, I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Wow, it doesn't sound awesome.
Are there any fans of this show on board this tram? I love this show so much. Check it out. It's still streaming on Netflix. I rewatched it several times myself. They also filmed in our Court of Miracles location on your right-hand side. Some honorable mentions. Recently, Pedro Pascal filmed a Corona commercial here. If you see a Corona commercial with Pedro Pascal, that was Little Europe. But it leads into a beach. That beach is not here on the backlot. That is editing here in Hollywood. Also, since Halloween season is coming back, Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan Sarah Michelle Gellar, Little Europe was also used for that TV show back in the day. This was 1800s Ireland for those flashback scenes with Angel, played by David Boreanaz. Also, we're going to start seeing more houses, more homes, and more neighborhoods currently being used by production. And they actually brought our classic earthquake attraction to light in their own unique way. That was years ago. Keep in mind, a lot of history here. With our route today, passing around our halfway point, just a regular reminder, please remain seated. Don't forget about the red emergency cord for any medical emergencies, any general guest assistance, because now, folks, we just got access to bring it back to Amity Island, the small New England town once terrorized by that great white man-eating shark, Jaws. Yeah. But of course, we caught the shark giving us troubles. Oh yeah, early this morning, we had a police officer diver, George, doing one final sweep. I believe we should be reopening soon. Uh-oh. Okay, are y'all seeing this? We got another shark on our hands? Okay, just remain seated. We'll call dispatch about this. Oh no, is that George? Oh, they're screaming. Okay, children, kids, look away, kids. I don't know if you see out there. George, yes, he is highly qualified, and some say the best that we own. Oh, that's a lot of red. That's what it looks like? Okay. Oh boy. Chad, let's get out of here. This is a bad idea. Folks, on an unrelated note, we're going to be clearing this location. Please remain seated. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Oh no, the tram just stalled out. Out in the water, something is going on. Folks, we are not alone. Oh no. Things just backfired. We're going to need a bigger tram.
That's huge.
That's a good job. Respect to one. Good to go. That was a nod to Steven Spielberg and the movie Jaws. The more you know. Jaws the movie did not really film here, mostly filmed on location, Martha's Vineyard on the East Coast. Big summer blockbuster in '75. Our Jaws attraction brought to life 1 year later. You're in the backlots. The world is just around the corner. We take you to your next location, Old Mexico. Home to another classic where we're going to throw things over to one of the anchors of the Today Show, Mr. Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968.
Starting things off with strobe lighting and sound effects, lightning and thunder, and of course the main component, water, to show you how we make it rain here in Hollywood. We use hidden sprinkler systems, shoot the water up, falls down as naturally as possible, and most importantly, we create this control over the environment that we have created itself. Keep in mind, other productions may call for something bigger. In just a few moments, expect a lot more water headed our way. As some guests on board like to say, when it rains, it pours. Watch out. This entire street look like the real thing. They bring in horses, dress up as cowboys, you would never know the wiser. Now, once upon a time in Hollywood, a very recent production, these are some of the oldest sets on our studio lot still being used till this very day. So these are some of those classic stars. Clint Eastwood, not so classic. Of course, he's a pretty well-known director these days. Take a look around you. All these doors are different sizes here at 6 Points. An earlier technique called forced perspective. Say you got a smaller actor, smaller door, they appear taller. Say you're on the taller side like myself, choose a taller door so you appear more average height with the rest of your cast, or use in different ways for comedy as well. Forced perspective. Missed any good photo ops, so no more shark attacks hopefully for us the second time around.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time.
If you want to see something funny, take a look at your screens. Our Jaws attraction has also been used for filming. Ooh, fire. Behind the Hanging Shark, it says Cabot Cove. That was a fictional town for this show, Murder, She Wrote, which filmed their opening sequence there with Angela Lansbury. If you're also big fans of The Good Place, rewatch the 3rd season. It's still recognized sometimes as Wisteria Lane. Most of these houses are just shells, mostly used for exterior filming. This same neighborhood was the Burbs back in the 80s with Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. Looked a little bit different back then. And if you're getting on to commercials for a Wayfair, that is the Wayborhood. Colonial. Currently taking you up Steven Spielberg Drive. We'll have some picture cars. Our final 3 set visits built into the tour.
Young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
So the first vehicle you saw was a classic glamour tram. That was a real glamour tram back in those days. Of course, some well-known picture cars from well-known franchises. We're also here for the final days and week setup of Halloween Horror Nights. This will be part of Terror Tram Enter the Blumhouse. Our final 3 set visits that have been built in the tour for quite some time here. We're going to start things off with the 1960s, the Bates Motel, the home to Norman Bates and Mother, based off the 1960 thriller Psycho. Straight ahead, you'll also notice our Hollywood sign replica we brought to life this past summer. Ours is 10 feet tall per letter. The real thing is 45 feet tall per letter on the opposite side of that mountain we mentioned earlier. And everyone, don't forget the home to Norman Bates and Mother. Coming up on your left, you might still see Mother rocking away in a second-story window, a very iconic home in Hollywood movie history. And don't forget, we are still to be setting up for more Halloween Horror Night stuff in the next. From iconic, we take you into one of the world's largest. This set is the plane crash scene site built, constructed, staged for Steven Spielberg's 2005 alien invasion movie, War of the Worlds, starred Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. And by the way, if you're wondering, this was once a real aircraft purchased from an airplane graveyard. Broken apart into several big pieces, shipped here on flatbed trucks to stage all of this. Only featured for about 4 minutes in the final feature film.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steven. And so again, to sit down and talk about.
Filmed on location on the East Coast, filmed right here for this scene, and a couple of our stages on the front lot. Literally, this movie, Coast to Coast, 2005, Steven Spielberg. Now, our next and final set visit, still fairly new here at the tour, became part of the tour just 2 years ago, July 22nd, 2022. That's when the movie Nope hit theaters. Now, if you're not familiar, the movie Nope, Kiki Pop, Get Out, Us, Nope, got it from Target, love it. We're gonna
Happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Oh, it's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of Nope.
Digest, if you will. Before the movie hit theaters, some people thought it was an acronym, not of Planet Earth. After watching it, some people are saying it's a modern-day Jaws meets Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We're going to take you away from the world of Nope into our final world, our final boss.
Everybody out! This is the FBI! Turn that music off!
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other? Roman Pierce.
Naming all the attractions at this point. Also, Fast and Furious Supercharged. And of course, the